What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about Dallas real estate and how it's selling below listing price. But before we get into it, make sure you like my channel, subscribe, share the content so that I can keep creating great content for you guys. So I'm just going to get into this. Okay, according to Redfin, right, according to Redfin data, the latest data, homes in the DFW area are selling for about 4.2% below listing price, right? Below listing price. So what that means is a property gets on the market, let's say for $300,000, right? And I'll do some simple math for you. Okay? Let's do $300,000, and this is how you can do this. $300,000 times 4.2%, 0.42%. So that's about $12,600. So on a $300,000 house, that means that $300,000 house is selling for about $287,400. Just as an example, right? So that's a $12,600 difference between what that property was listed for and what that property sold for. So the reason this is important is because many people are thinking that the real estate market is just in shambles. Everyone's running around with their heads cut off. But in reality, this is an opportunity for you to go in and negotiate. Go in and negotiate, because the sellers right now are starting to realize that they are not masters of the universe. They do not control everything like they did 1 year ago, 2 years ago, when they were selling their homes like hotcakes and people were paying whatever for it. That's just not happening anymore. Buyers are asking questions now. Buyers are lifting up the rug where all that mess was swept up under all these high appraisals, all the hype. They're lifting up that rug and saying, this property ain't worth that. And they're negotiating the price down. And guess what's going through sellers' mind? Oh man, I've had this property listed and it's not selling in a day or two like it was last year. It's not even selling in a week, 2 weeks, right? If I don't price this thing right, if I don't catch up with the market and decrease the price, this thing is gonna sit. And guess what happens when your property sits? That's right. I know what you're thinking. Because if you've ever went to buy a property and you saw that it's been sitting for a month, 2 months, what's the first thing you're gonna think? There's something wrong with that property. There's something wrong with that property, and rightfully so, right? If you have a good product and it's been sitting on the shelf, right? If you go to the supermarket and you see the meat where it expires today, it's typically marked down, right? Why? Because people understand that if the supermarket sees that if this sits too long and it's past the expiration date, or we see that it's been put out and it's been sitting here for a week or two, it's something wrong with it. Maybe the price is too high. Maybe there's something that people are seeing about the meat that I'm not seeing, right? As social creatures, we tend to think, well, if those people aren't buying it, why should I? And here's another thing that I don't think people realize. When you put a property in the MLS, right? As a real estate agent, when I go look at those properties for my client, first thing I say is, well, this property been sitting 30 days. Oh, and it went under contract. Oh, that's right. Yep. Not only has it been sitting, but it went under contract, came out of contract, and it's been sitting. Why is that important? Because many sellers believe that just because it went under contract or somebody puts an offer in, that is going to sell for that. Well, guess what? There's something called an appraisal. And we're in a market where the appraisals are starting to come back a little bit lower. Just a little bit lower. And so if you price your property too high and you went through 2 or 3 weeks paperwork, you think you're getting $300,000, and the appraisal comes back and says $280,000. Some sellers think that, oh, well, I'll just put it back on the market, give them their earnest money back, and it'll sell for the $300,000. Right? You put it back on. Now, a year ago that worked. That actually happened. We would get properties under contract, And the seller would almost be begging for something to go wrong with it, because in a month or two, that property went up $10,000, $15,000. But this isn't that market, okay? Properties are selling below listing price, okay? And the winners are going to be the properties that are listed at or below what the comps are showing. So if you're thinking about buying right now in this market, what I want you to understand is that you have the option to negotiate. Sellers are negotiating, and you may get a discount, right? And when I say a discount, I'm saying you may be able to negotiate the price down. You may be able to get closing costs covered, all of those great things, right? And here's another thing. Just because the property sold at 300,000, they are not publicly showing the concessions that may have been offered. So that property may have sold for $300,000, but they may have given the seller may have given $10,000 in concessions for repairs. That's not showing up on the price of the property, right? All you see is the price. You don't see the concessions, right? As the real estate agent, I can call around and see what were the concessions on this. When we get that appraisal back, we can see what were the concessions on this. But you don't see all of that just based on the price that you've seen that it sold for. So be very careful just looking at price. But because behind closed doors, right? It sold for $300,000, but they gave you $10,000 in concessions or $5,000 in concessions. Really, you still may have saved some money because of your down payment or your closing costs, things like that. So that's why it's very important that you understand what's going on, right? Properties are selling below asking price, and sellers are willing to negotiate. So if you're looking to sell your property, understand you have to price it right. If you're looking to buy a property, understand that you can negotiate. So I hope that helped you. If you found any value in this video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of this content. Let me know how I can add more value. If you have any video ideas or any topics you want me to cover, please add that in the comment section. Also, go check me out on my Instagram at Fitz_Realtor. That's FITZ_Realtor. If you're in the DFW area and you need a real estate agent, I'm your guy. If you're in other states and you need a good referral, I'm your guy. Hit me up on Instagram, DM me, drop a comment, all of those great things, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.